In the dazzling world of Linda Evans, her role as Crystal Carrington on Dynasty showcased her elegance and allure to audiences everywhere, yet behind the scenes lay a more complex narrative. While viewers were enchanted by her depiction of grace in the series, Linda's real life played out with many unexpected twists and turns, often overshadowed by personal struggles and emotional challenges. Her experiences went beyond the luxurious settings of the show, revealing moments of genuine humanity, love that flourished, friendships that faded, and an ongoing quest for identity and significance. Underneath the glamour featured on television, she faced heartbreak, dealt with the consequences of fame, and battled periods of financial uncertainty and personal strife. The story unfolds with family disputes and unexpected relationship endings that highlighted the real person behind the screen. Throughout these obstacles, Linda's strength and determination shone brightly as she embraced her journey with resilience, transforming each challenge into a stepping stone. The layers of her life reveal a woman not only defined by her role as an actress, but as someone who embraced life's unpredictability with an open heart. Born on November 18, 1942, in Hartford, Connecticut, Linda Evans grew up in a family filled with creativity and ambition. As the second of three sisters, she was nurtured in a middle-class home that encouraged expression and warmth. Her father, Alba Evenstad, was a professional ballroom dancer with Norwegian roots, whose love for rhythm instilled a sense of movement in their household. Meanwhile, her mother, Arlene, focused on creating an environment that cherished imagination and emotional connection. This supportive upbringing allowed Linda to explore her talents and interests from a young age. When the family relocated to North Hollywood, California, they sought better opportunities for the girls, placing Linda in the heart of the entertainment scene. This vibrant atmosphere shaped her childhood, where dinner conversations often included topics related to music, art, and dreams. The encouragement from her parents to focus on her identity played a crucial role in building her confidence and poise. Although her family faced the usual struggles of working-class life, the love and support they shared laid the groundwork for Linda's unwavering passion for performance and her determination to succeed in the arts. Even as a small child, Linda's creative spark was unmistakable. By age 6, she was choreographing her own dance routines, often performing them for family and neighbors with a maturity and flair that belied her years. Inspired by her father's rhythmic precision and grace, she found herself drawn to the emotional language of movement. Her parents, quick to recognize their daughter's natural inclination for performance, enrolled her in professional dance classes, exposing her to classical techniques and stage etiquette. These early lessons were more than just physical training. They instilled discipline, perseverance, and a deep appreciation for the arts. Linda spent countless hours in front of mirrors perfecting her movements, dreaming of one day performing on grand stages. This early embrace of the arts not only shaped her expressive abilities, but also provided her with an emotional outlet during childhood transitions and relocations. Dancing became both her sanctuary and her first love, and the rhythm of those early routines would echo throughout her career. During her transition from childhood to adolescence, Linda Evans discovered a new passion that expanded her interests beyond dance into the realm of dramatic arts. While attending Hollywood High School, she found herself surrounded by aspiring actors, filmmakers, and passionate creatives, many of whom eventually carved out successful careers in the entertainment industry. At this vibrant school, Linda took part in school plays, displaying a subtle yet captivating presence that quickly captured the attention of both her classmates and teachers. Her early performances were characterized by an emotional depth and vulnerability that hinted at the talent she would later showcase professionally. A pivotal moment came when a talent scout noticed her natural charisma and photogenic beauty. This encounter opened doors for her, providing an opportunity to audition for television roles, something that excited Linda deeply. Embracing this chance with enthusiasm, she began to understand that acting would allow her to explore a wide array of human emotions in ways that dance could not. As she honed her craft, she realized that the world of acting offered her a unique platform for expression. By the time she graduated, Linda Evans had transformed from a hopeful performer into a rising star poised to embark on a remarkable professional journey that would unfold over many decades. With a guest appearance on Bachelor Father in 1960, Linda Evans made her formal entry into the entertainment industry, marking the beginning of her gradual rise in television. These early roles were often small and scattered across various shows, providing her with essential training. In these formative years, she learned important aspects of acting, such as camera work, delivering lines effectively and developing characters. Her calm demeanor and gentle elegance set her apart, making her memorable among many aspiring actresses. Her significant breakthrough came as Audra Barkley on The Big Valley, where she starred alongside Barbara Stanwyck. In this role, she portrayed a strong-willed yet compassionate daughter of a ranching family in the American West. Linda's performance won the hearts of audiences and critics, showcasing a remarkable blend of softness and strength. This captivating portrayal not only earned her a loyal fan base, but also led to more substantial acting opportunities. During this time, she began to navigate the challenges that fame brought her, learning to manage public expectations while focusing on her personal development. The experiences she gained in these early years proved to be vital, laying the groundwork for her future success and resilience in both her career and personal life. In 1981, Linda Evans achieved remarkable success when she took on the role of Crystal Carrington in Dynasty. This high-drama soap opera quickly became a defining show of the 1980s. As Crystal, Linda displayed a unique blend of grace and resilience. Her character was a woman of deep compassion, married to the powerful Carrington family, known for their wealth and ruthlessness. Linda's portrayal allowed her to reveal a wide emotional range, capturing the hearts of millions. Week after week, viewers watched as Crystal navigated complex love stories, faced betrayals, and dealt with power struggles within the glamorous yet treacherous world of Denver's elite. Linda Evans transformed Crystal Carrington into an unforgettable character who represented resilience and kindness. Her elegant presence and quiet strength stood out, making audiences admire not just Crystal's journey, but also Linda's embodiment of those qualities. This role earned her a Golden Globe Award, solidifying her legacy as an international icon. Crystal Carrington became a symbol of inner strength, reminding viewers of the importance of dignity and compassion in a challenging world. The success of Dynasty was not only about its lavish sets and dramatic plots, it thrived on the powerful chemistry among its cast, with Linda Evans at the forefront. Her dynamic with John Forsythe, who portrayed the wealthy oil magnate Blake Carrington, infused the series with deep romantic moments and emotional depth. Their relationship, rich with love, misunderstandings, and reconciliations, resonated with audiences, making it feel genuine despite the show's luxurious backdrop. However, it was Linda's intense interactions with Joan Collins, the glamorous and manipulative Alexis Colby, that truly hooked viewers. The stark contrast between Crystal's grace and Alexis' cunning antics generated some of the most memorable scenes in television, compelling fans to tune in for every dramatic exchange. Behind the cameras, she maintained a respectful and professional demeanor with her co-stars, highlighting the admiration she had for them, even during the more emotionally taxing scenes. Linda's rare ability to embody both vulnerability and strength positioned her as a distinctive figure in television. Her portrayal became a cultural reference point, particularly for women looking to blend femininity with assertiveness in a rapidly evolving world. As Dynasty's popularity soared, Linda Evans became more than just a star. She transformed into a cultural icon, representing elegance and emotional truth throughout a decade often characterized by excess. As Dynasty reached the peak of its success, Linda Evans began to expand her horizons beyond acting, using her fame and influence to explore new ventures. One of her most notable endeavors was the launch of her own beauty and wellness product line, a reflection of her belief that true beauty begins with self-care and self-respect. Linda had always been admired for her radiant skin and timeless elegance, and she channeled this admiration into a brand that emphasized natural beauty, healthy living, and personal empowerment. Her products resonated with women who saw her not just as a glamorous figure on TV, but as someone who genuinely cared about aging gracefully and embracing authenticity. Linda also authored books that offered intimate glimpses into her life, sharing the wisdom she had gained from years in the spotlight, relationships, and personal transformation. These writings revealed her reflective nature and desire to uplift others through transparency and shared experience. Her philanthropic spirit also blossomed during this period as she lent her voice and resources to numerous charitable causes, particularly those supporting children's welfare, education, and wellness. Whether through fundraising events or quiet acts of generosity, Linda made it clear that her legacy extended far beyond the screen. She was equally committed to nurturing others as she was to entertaining them. While her professional life sparkled with awards and acclaim, Linda Evans' personal life was marked by complexity, vulnerability, and growth. Her most high-profile marriage was to actor and director John Derek, which drew public attention not just for their romance, but also for its dramatic ending. John left Linda for her then-teenage beau Derek, a betrayal that played out publicly and left her devastated. Instead of allowing this heartbreak to consume her, Linda spoke of the experience with grace and compassion. She admitted the pain it caused, but also recognized the personal growth it forced her to undergo. Linda's later relationship with property executive Stan Herman was more private, but eventually ended as well, adding another layer to her emotional journey. Though Linda never had biological children, she embraced a maternal role with John Derek's son, Sean, playing an important part in his upbringing and remaining involved in his life. Her love and nurturing spirit extended beyond blood ties, proving that motherhood comes in many forms. Linda's relationships, though not always lasting, taught her resilience, forgiveness, and the importance of self-love. Over time, she learned to find contentment not through romantic validation, but through spiritual growth, personal authenticity, and the meaningful connections with family and friends she maintained. Her emotional depth, shaped by heartache and healing, would become one of the most enduring aspects of her legacy. In the early 2000s, Linda Evans made a bold and deeply personal decision to step away from the glittering lights of Hollywood and redirect her life inward. Having spent decades in the public eye, portraying roles that projected glamour, wealth, and emotional strength, she felt an inner calling to rediscover the essence of who she truly was beyond the scripts, the makeup, and the expectations. Linda embraced a transformative spiritual journey that involved intensive self-reflection, mindfulness practices, and a deepening connection to nature and inner peace. She moved to a secluded property in the Pacific Northwest, seeking solace in the quiet rhythms of rural life. Surrounded by trees and mountains rather than cameras and red carpets, she began to study Eastern philosophies, meditation, and the power of energy healing. This period became a sanctuary for Linda, where she shed the layers of celebrity and reconnected with her core values: authenticity, compassion, and personal evolution. Far removed from the fast-paced world of entertainment, she embraced simplicity, gardening, and spiritual retreats, often describing this chapter of her life as her most fulfilling. Through journaling, mentoring, and small speaking engagements, Linda began to share her insights with others, becoming a quiet beacon of wisdom for those seeking purpose beyond fame. Her journey was not about turning her back on her past, but about fully integrating it, acknowledging the lessons of her former life while choosing to live with intention, peace, and gratitude. As Linda Evans' fame grew, particularly during the height of her career on Dynasty, the pressures of fame became overwhelming. The 1980s brought with it intense media attention, and Linda found herself in the unrelenting gaze of the public eye. Every move she made was followed by paparazzi, and tabloids speculated about her personal life, her relationships, and even her appearance. Her every action was scrutinized, and the world seemed to demand that she maintain a perfect image at all costs. Behind the glitz and glamour of her career, Linda faced a heavy emotional toll. She had always been a private person, and the constant need to smile for cameras, attend public events, and answer invasive questions from journalists left her emotionally drained. As a woman in the entertainment industry, she felt the constant pressure of aging, knowing that in an industry where youth was often idolized, growing older could be seen as a liability. Yet, despite the demands of her fame, Linda was often portrayed as strong, resilient, and emotionally rich in her roles. This created an internal conflict. While she was celebrated for playing powerful women, she was denied the space to simply be herself, without the mask of public perfection. The fame that once seemed like a dream began to feel more like a cage, trapping her in an image that didn't fully reflect who she was. Through it all, Linda carried herself with grace, refusing to let the toxic aspects of stardom consume her. She learned that the applause of the world could never replace the need for self-acceptance and peace of mind. The price of fame, with all its external rewards, had cost her a piece of her inner peace, but she ultimately found solace in embracing her true self, away from the spotlight. One of the greatest emotional challenges faced throughout Linda Evans' life was the ongoing struggle to reconcile her public persona with her private reality. To millions, she was Crystal Carrington, elegant, virtuous, and seemingly unshakable. Yet, off-screen, Linda was often a woman in search of deeper meaning, battling insecurities, heartbreak, and a longing for genuine connection. The contrast between who she was and who the world believed her to be created a quiet sense of isolation. She often spoke of the difficulty in forming authentic relationships, as people tended to project expectations onto her, based on her television roles. Her smile, beauty, and poise became masks she was expected to wear, even when she was struggling emotionally behind the scenes. The lack of vulnerability in public made her moments of solitude feel both welcome and heavy. The emotional toll of being constantly compared to an idealized version of herself forced Linda to confront questions about identity and self-worth. In response, she began to peel back the layers, letting go of the need to please others, and turning toward personal healing and spiritual renewal. Through therapy, introspection, and time away from the spotlight, she gradually redefined her sense of self. Not as a character written by others, but as a woman of depth, resilience, and evolving truth. In the late 1990s, Linda Evans faced one of the most challenging battles of her life, a diagnosis of chronic fatigue syndrome. This condition, known for causing severe exhaustion, muscle pain, and cognitive difficulties, was a sharp contrast to the vibrant, energetic persona she had built throughout her career. For years, Linda had been known for her stamina and emotional depth as an actress, qualities that defined her performances and public image, but CFS stripped her of much of that strength, both physically and mentally. There were days when even getting out of bed felt impossible. The fatigue was overwhelming, and nights were filled with the fear of not knowing if she would ever feel well again. The illness seemed to erode the very foundation of who she was, a woman whose career had been built on endurance and vitality. It was a humbling experience, but Linda's response was anything but despairing. True to her nature, she chose to face this new challenge with quiet resolve and a determination to understand it. Rather than retreat from the public eye, Linda chose to speak out about her diagnosis. At the time, CFS was often misunderstood and dismissed, with many attributing it to stress or simply not acknowledging its severity. By openly sharing her journey, Linda brought attention to the reality of the illness, helping to demystify it and give a voice to others who suffered in silence. Through interviews and public awareness campaigns, she became an advocate for those with CFS, reshaping her public image from that of a glamorous Hollywood starlet to a courageous health advocate. Her openness not only raised awareness about CFS, but also became a turning point in her life. It deepened her empathy and reshaped her priorities, guiding her toward holistic healing practices. This new direction would define her later years as she found ways to manage her condition and embrace a healthier lifestyle. Linda's battle with CFS was more than just a personal struggle. It was a public statement about strength, resilience, and the power of advocacy in the face of a misunderstood illness. Linda Evans's decision to speak publicly about her battle with chronic fatigue syndrome was a turning point in the way society views celebrity and strength. In an era when public figures were expected to maintain a facade of boundless energy and glamour, she challenged these norms by openly discussing her struggles with a condition that many people had never heard of, let alone understood. Chronic fatigue syndrome, with its debilitating symptoms of extreme tiredness, cognitive issues, and physical limitations, is often dismissed as a mysterious and elusive ailment, sometimes even questioned by medical professionals. Linda, however, was determined to break the silence surrounding this condition. Instead of hiding her vulnerability behind the layers of fame, she chose to embrace her truth, showing the world that strength doesn't come from a perfect image or constant energy, but from the courage to admit when you're struggling. She described the mental fog, the body aches, and the constant exhaustion not as signs of weakness, but as part of the natural complexity of human health. By sharing her experience, she humanized a condition that had been largely ignored or misunderstood, providing comfort to many who had been suffering in silence for years. Her openness about her illness gave a voice to countless others who had faced similar challenges, but had felt invisible in a world that values productivity and appearance over health and well-being. Linda's actions were not just an act of personal disclosure, they became a platform for advocacy. She raised awareness about chronic fatigue syndrome, pushing for more research, better medical recognition, and greater empathy for those affected by chronic illnesses. Her story served as a reminder that resilience doesn't lie in pretending to be unaffected by challenges, but in confronting those challenges with honesty and grace. Through her transparency, Linda helped redefine strength. She showed that true strength is not about maintaining a facade of perfection, but about the courage to be vulnerable and authentic. By doing so, she became not only an inspiration to her fans, but to anyone who faced their own silent battles. Linda Evans, determined to take charge of her health, turned to a wide array of alternative healing methods. After finding that traditional medicine offered only limited relief, She sought out practices that resonated more deeply with her changing spiritual and emotional needs. She embraced acupuncture, herbal remedies, energy healing, and nutritional therapy, all while collaborating with wellness practitioners who understood the importance of the mind-body connection. As she integrated these practices into her life, her lifestyle underwent a noticeable shift. Organic eating, daily meditation, and intentional living became fundamental aspects of her daily routine. Linda did not simply pursue healing for herself. She became a passionate advocate for it. Through interviews, workshops, and her writings, she shared her journey and educated others about the potential benefits of alternative therapies. She also emphasized the uniqueness of each person's healing path, acknowledging that one size does not fit all. Linda's approach to wellness was not about passively waiting for improvement, but actively taking control and engaging in one's own recovery. Her advocacy for self-healing and increased awareness became a powerful part of her mission. This commitment not only enhanced her own life, but also inspired many others to explore holistic paths to well-being, focusing on balance, peace, and care that nurtures the whole person. Throughout her career, Linda Evans faced not only physical challenges, but also a quiet, deeply personal struggle with mental health. The pressures of celebrity life placed an enormous emotional burden on her, demanding that she maintain a flawless, composed appearance at all times. This expectation weighed heavily on her, often pushing her to hide the anxiety, emotional exhaustion, and deep moments of self-doubt that she experienced. During the height of her fame, Linda kept these struggles hidden, determined to maintain the image of a strong, serene woman that her fans admired. However, as time passed, and she became more introspective, she began to open up about her mental health challenges. Linda spoke candidly about the psychological toll of fame, emphasizing that mental wellness was just as important as physical health. She advocated for emotional honesty, declaring that it was not a weakness but a path to freedom. Her willingness to share her personal journey helped to dismantle the stigma around mental health, particularly within the entertainment industry. By encouraging conversations about anxiety, healing, and the psychological costs of fame, Linda resonated deeply with both her fans and her peers. She demonstrated that true strength lies in the ability to embrace vulnerability, and her openness served as a reminder that healing begins when we allow ourselves to be seen in our full humanity, flaws, fears, and all. Linda Evans' romantic life mirrored the complexities of her career, characterized by both deep passion and intricate challenges. Her first marriage, to actor and filmmaker John Derek, began with mutual admiration and shared creative pursuits. It seemed like a perfect match, but the relationship ultimately fell apart when Derek left her for a much younger woman. This public betrayal shocked the media and left Linda heartbroken, but she refused to let the heartbreak define her. She chose to keep her dignity intact, never seeking public revenge or engaging in scandal. Instead, she allowed herself to heal privately and gracefully, embracing the pain as part of her personal journey. Her second marriage to property executive Stan Herman was more private, yet it, too, ended in divorce. The split served as a reminder of the challenges that can arise when trying to balance demanding careers and personal life. Despite the end of both marriages, Linda's response remained poised and introspective. Rather than allowing the end of her relationships to embitter her, she reflected on what each chapter had taught her. Linda often spoke about the importance of self-worth and the strength it takes to walk away from situations that no longer serve one's personal growth. Her view on love and loss evolved into a philosophy that the end of a marriage doesn't mark the failure of a life. Rather, it signifies the beginning of a new phase in life, one that can be filled with independence, renewal, and peace. Through her romantic struggles, Linda's resilience shone brightly as she continued to learn, grow, and find happiness within herself, always moving forward with grace and wisdom. In 2011, Linda Evans offered the world a candid and heartfelt glimpse into her private world through her memoir, Recipes for Life: My Memories. Far from a typical celebrity autobiography, the book intertwined cherished recipes with deeply personal anecdotes, each dish serving as a symbol of a life moment, a relationship, or an emotional turning point. Through the pages, Linda peeled back the layers of her public persona, revealing stories of heartbreak, financial setbacks, moments of loneliness, and the enduring importance of family ties. Readers were introduced to a woman who, despite her fame, wrestled with the same human challenges as anyone else, feeling unseen, longing for true love, or wondering about life's direction. Her writing carried a warmth and honesty that resonated deeply, especially as she described the contrast between red carpet glamour and quiet nights of introspection. The memoir revealed her sensitivity, humor, and unshakable will, offering comfort and inspiration to those navigating life's own emotional roller coasters. It wasn't merely a reflection of her past, it was a declaration of her authenticity and a celebration of her full, unfiltered humanity. Linda Evans has always been an example of strength through vulnerability. She didn't try to hide the difficult aspects of her life, but instead embraced them, showing that there is power in being open about pain, fear, and uncertainty. Throughout her journey, she openly discussed the ups and downs, her marriages that didn't last, the illnesses that drained her, and the challenges of fame that sometimes left her feeling isolated. Instead of presenting a flawless image, she allowed her fans to see the raw and imperfect side of her life, and in doing so, created a connection that went beyond simple admiration. Her honesty resonated deeply with people, making them feel as though they weren't alone in their struggles. Linda showed that personal growth isn't something that happens despite adversity, but because of it. She became a symbol of aging gracefully, healing openly, and living with intention, even when the future seemed uncertain. By redefining what it means to be a Hollywood icon, she proved that being real, rather than untouchable, is what makes someone truly iconic. Over time, Linda gradually stepped back from the limelight in the 1990s and early 2000s, yet she never vanished from the hearts of her fans, or from the causes she cared about. Each rare on-screen appearance carried a sense of nostalgia, and reminded audiences of her enduring talent and presence. Beyond the camera, she devoted herself to philanthropic work, focusing especially on children's health, education, and welfare. She contributed to numerous charities quietly and generously, choosing to make a real difference without seeking attention. Her participation in fundraising events, mentoring programs, and awareness campaigns was always sincere and purposeful, reflecting her genuine commitment. She also became an advocate for aging with dignity, speaking at wellness retreats and women's conferences about the importance of self-love, self-care, and valuing life experience. Linda encouraged older women to redefine beauty and purpose on their own terms, challenging the youth-focused standards of mainstream media. Through her consistent actions, she demonstrated that one's relevance is measured not by age or fame, but by the positive impact and integrity one brings to the world, leaving a lasting example of inspiration and meaningful contribution. Linda Evans' life is a testament to the power of reinvention, showcasing how transformation can be embraced as a path to deeper understanding and fulfillment. Starting as a young dancer, her early career was marked by a sense of innocence and the joy of movement. However, her journey soon led her to the world of television, where she became a household name. As an actress, she gained immense fame and recognition, particularly for her role in the iconic television series Dynasty. Yet, even in the peak of her success, Linda's story was never just about fame. It was about the ability to evolve and grow, both personally and professionally. Throughout her career, she faced numerous challenges, including public scrutiny, heartbreak, and illness. Rather than being defined by these struggles, Linda chose to rise above them. She leaned into change, pivoting from a successful acting career to a quieter, more introspective life. Her decision to step away from the spotlight wasn't a retreat, but an intentional shift toward spiritual growth and self-discovery. Linda became a wellness advocate, exploring paths of healing and personal growth. This new chapter in her life was a reflection of her unwavering commitment to staying true to herself while continuously evolving. Linda's story is one of resilience and courage. Despite the pressures of an industry often fixated on maintaining a certain image, she remained authentic to her core values. Her ability to reinvent herself repeatedly, without ever compromising who she truly was, made her a symbol of strength and self-empowerment. Linda's journey proves that it's possible to navigate life's challenges with grace, making bold choices that honor both personal growth and inner truth. Through every phase of her life, whether as a dancer, actress, or spiritual seeker, Linda Evans demonstrated that the key to reinvention lies in embracing change with an open heart and mind. Her story inspires anyone at a crossroads, reminding them that it's never too late to rewrite their narrative and discover a path that brings true fulfillment and peace. Linda Evans' journey is one of resilience, authenticity, and transformation. While her role as Crystal Carrington on Dynasty portrayed her as the epitome of grace, the real Linda was far more than the glamorous character she played. Beneath the surface of fame and fortune, she confronted her own personal battles, heartbreak, emotional turmoil, and financial struggles, showing that even those who seem to have it all can face challenges that are unseen by the public eye. Despite these obstacles, Linda's strength and resolve stood out, and she navigated her life with a tenacity that only deepened her character. Her story is a testament to the complexities of fame, the price of living in the spotlight, and the determination to overcome hardships. It's a story that reflects the multifaceted nature of being human, where every triumph is hard-won, and every setback contributes to a richer understanding of oneself. Linda Evans' life is a reminder that the pursuit of happiness is not always straightforward, but is always worth the